everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Thank you so much for once again joining me for tea time, but there's no tea. Well, I hope you have your cup of coffee or your tea or maybe something harder, as I always say, but mine is gone. I need to make some more. Anyways, today is going to be a really short video, but I keep getting a lot of questions about what lenses to buy. Now that people are moving from DSLR to mirrorless, they want to know which lenses they need in their kit and which ones they don't. Anyways, I'm going to get into that in just a second, but before I do, if you haven't downloaded my ebook as of yet, go check it out. You can go over to JCristina.com/ebook. Once again, JCristina.com/ebook. 10 tips at making tack sharp images. It's free, guys. It is free. There's something there for amateurs, pro-ams, or professionals. It doesn't matter. You're going to get something out of it, and free is always good. Once again, JCristina.com/ebook. Next, if you have not cleaned your sensors as of yet, go pick up some Aurora camera care product. I made those about 6-7 months ago, right around there, and they are selling amazing. All worldwide. You can find them in mom and pop little photography stores. You can go to B&H Photo and Video. You can go to Amazon, Amazon Prime, or even my website, JCristina.com. Check them out. All right, it's easy, quick, and safe. Clean those sensors. Don't go in post-production and take out all that junk out of the sky. Anyways, so getting into these picks of lenses. We know that we are hoarders, let's say, of camera gear, right? Whenever we see that shiny new object, we have to go buy it. I don't do a lot of videos, a lot of reviews and whatnot on lenses on this channel because there's always the next best lens that comes out. And the thing that you will learn after being a professional photographer for a couple of decades like myself is that when you look at your kit of tens of thousands of dollars worth of lenses, there's only a few of them that you use all the time. And the rest of them kind of just sit there. They were like good at the time when you made the purchase and you justify it in your little pea brain that you need it. You have to spend a couple of grand on that lens or more because it's necessary. It's going to make you a better photographer. It's going to make you be able to capture these images better. And the point is, it really doesn't. Okay, so there's a few lenses that I feel that should be in everyone's kit. And if you're transitioning from DSLR over to mirrorless, and for example, if you are a Canon shooter and you're going from EF over to RF, don't make the same mistakes that I have and so many other photographers have and bought just tons of glass and spend a lot of money on stuff that you really simply don't need. So I'm going to go through the lenses that I have, that I use all the time, and I'm not going to even make a list of all the rest of them that we have over there, but these are the ones that I would say that you should buy if you are going to be a professional or a pro-am. These are like workhorse lenses. So to start out, we have the 24-70. Now this is the 24-70 f2.8 L glass for Canon, but it doesn't matter if you're shooting Sony, if you're shooting Nikon or whoever, a 24-70 is a workhorse. Now this lens goes for about $1,900. Let's call it $2,000, somewhere around there. Okay. The next lens from the 24-70 would be a 50mm, quick 50, right? Well, this right here is a 50mm 1.8. The 1.4 that I have is already tucked away because we have a job to go on. Anyways, this is a 1.8. This will get you by. Now, the 1.4 runs about $400. This 1.8 runs about $100, maybe $90. And sometimes I get better images with this just because I like the way it looks. It almost looks like a toy lens. It is plastic. Look at that back end. Plastic, plastic, plastic. Nothing to it, but it does the job. So anyways, we went from 24-70 to a 50. From the 50mm, I would say pick up a macro. Now, this right here is a macro from Tamron. I think it is the absolute best macro lens out there, but your miles may vary, all right? I had a 100mm Canon macro that I sold after I bought this. Why is that? The 100mm was about twice the price, about $1,000. This was under $500. And this is the 90 f2.8, all right? It is tack sharp, the sharpest piece of glass that I have out of all my lenses. That's all the L glass that I have. Don't ask me why. Maybe I just got a good one. So we hit into a macro that's at 90 millimeters. And then finally, we have a 70 to 200. Now, the 70 to 200 is another workhorse. This is the 70 to 200 f2.8 L glass. I love this lens. It is image stabilized. It does the trick. It does a really, really good job. The price on it is about, let's call it like $2,400, somewhere around there for this piece of glass. But you can get others from like Tamron and other manufacturers that will lower that price. Okay, I have all, or just about all, Canon L glass, but you don't need to do that. You can go cheaper by getting third-party glass, and I would actually recommend it. Perfect example is with that Tamron macro. The thing is as good, if not better, than the 100, and costs half the price. Anyways, $2,300. This is that piece of glass that I think is definitely a workhorse. So these are the 4 pieces of glass that I would say are always in a bag that we take out on the road, whatever it is. Now, there are a few other lenses that I would say you could pick up. If you need something wider, you can go with like a 16 to 35. All right. They run about $2,200. Okay. It's a good piece of glass. I have it over there, but it's not a workhorse to me. I don't usually need anything that wide. And if I need to go back to 16 millimeters, I'll take the 24 millimeter workhorse and use my feet to go backwards a little bit, and now we're at 16 millimeters. Okay, so that is the way I look at it. Many times people forget that you can zoom with your feet. All right, you don't have to zoom with the lens. You can buy all primes and zoom with your feet. It is not a problem. The next thing that you could pick up that we do have, but I don't have it here with me, but I don't use it a lot, and that's an 85 millimeter 1.2. That thing goes for about $2,000. It is amazing for portraiture, but what I found was I started shooting the 70 to 200 at about 150 millimeters to 180 millimeters, and I liked the way this looked, even better than that crazy bokeh of the 1.2 85. So the 85 kind of sits there. Even though it's a $2,000 lens, it doesn't get used. I use this at about 150 to 180 millimeters if we need to do portraiture, and it's just amazing, guys, right? Quick tip. Now, the next thing is a tilt shift lens. This is specific to people that are doing things that need to be perfectly in alignment, all right? So if you're shooting real estate, you don't want a house that looks like it's leaning backwards, and then later on in post-production, you have to like straighten it up. So you get a tilt shift lens and you don't have this problem. So you can pick up like a 24 millimeter f3.5 for about $1,900, or you can pick up also a 14 millimeter, which is ultra wide, which is an f4 at about $2,200. But those are specialty lenses, and that's why I didn't list them in these top 4 that I need for doing my professional work. Of course, every once in a while we need to pull out one of those lenses, but they get used rarely. They get used rarely. And when you see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lenses that are like gems that you think that you need and you try to justify it, just friggin' stop. You don't need it. It is not necessary. You could literally get by, and for this, even I could take the quick 50 out and I could do maybe these. That's it. We got a macro. We got a 24 to 70 and a 70 to 200. That covers me. Now, do we have longer lenses like a 300L and others for doing some longer stuff? Yes, we do. But once again, it is not needed for the work that I do. Many times people will buy lenses because they think that they're going to use it, and then later on it sits and collects dust. So these 4 lenses that we have will set you back about $5,000 altogether. Conversely, you can always go third party and end up probably about $2,000 cheaper, $1,500 cheaper, going with third party, Sigma or Tamron or whoever. Okay, it's a possibility also. It just depends on where you sit. Do you want to buy Sony G Master lenses, or do you want to buy third party? Do you want to buy Canon, or do you want to buy third party? Some things, for example, now that we're in mirrorless with RF, we don't have third party or very many, so you almost have to now buy the Canon lenses. Full circle. You're going from DSLR to RF, let's say, on the Canon side. Don't go and spend a crap load of money on lenses, because you will not use them. Period. If you're new and you are not a professional yet, heed my warning. Don't go spend your hard-earned cash on a ton of lenses because you don't need them. So let me be 100% honest with you. This 24-70 lens, I probably captured about 90 to 95% of all of my professional photos. I have about 1.5 million to 2 million photos on the RAID server over there, all right? About 90 to 95% were captured with this. Why? Because it's a damn workhorse. It does just about everything that I need it to do. I could do portraitures if I need to. It's wide enough to be able to do group shots. I can tighten up if I really need to and use my feet to get in closer if I have to, right? So 90%. 90%. That means if you took all the money that I made professionally over the last 2 decades, I shot with the 24-70. Okay? Keep that in mind. So if there's one lens that you absolutely should buy, that you will find to be a workhorse in your digital photography life, it would be at a 24-70. That is my personal opinion. It doesn't matter what you're shooting. Obviously, if you're a birder and you need a 500 mil or 800 mil, okay, I get it. Or if you're shooting cars on a drag strip and you need something really long, right? I get it. Sports, wildlife, action, okay? But for the most part, if you're doing events, if you're doing anything, I mean, even portraiture, groups, whatever, this is your bad boy right here. And figure on it will be probably around, let's say $2,000, $1,900, okay, for a good solid piece of glass. You could probably get third party for $1,500, $1,400, all right? Pick up that first. So anyways, I hope this is helpful for some of the people that really need to be talked off the top of the building into a sea of more glass. Because we know so many people are out there and I get these questions over and over. Do I need this lens? And this new one is coming out. And how about this? And how about that? No. There's one thread that holds true on all of this glass, right? What is it? It is a non-variable f-stop. They're all f2.8 unless you go into something fast, like a 1.2, a 1.4, or something like that, 1.8. Every piece of glass is an f2.8, non-variable. Don't buy any variable crap, period. The only thing that you should have variable is the kit lens that came with your camera. And that you should probably just sell. Maybe you should keep it. I don't know, sometimes they're good. Anyways, like I said, non-variable glass, f2.8, great, good enough. If you need an f4, okay. But an f2.8 is where you should be. Non-variable, that's it. Buy all your glass like that, and you will thank me later. Yes, you're going to pay more, okay? But just pay more now, right? And then thank me later. Send me like a tip. I did make a tip jar. PayPal. JCtipjar@gmail.com. Send me a cup of coffee. Anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful. If it was helpful, in the least, throw it a thumbs up. That would be very, very helpful for the channel, as well as the YouTube gods to look kindly on this video and hopefully suggest it to other people. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel as of yet, please subscribe and click this little bell icon over here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you will be notified of it immediately. Also, don't forget to pick up that ebook, JCristina.com/ebook. And if you want to contribute to the channel, a lot of you guys said, hey, do you have a PayPal? That's why I just gave you that. Do you have a PayPal? Do you have this? I hate to do that. I like to be able to give back. Well, if you click the little join button right down here, you become a member. You can give $1, $2 a month or whatever to the channel to help out, and I can give you perks for doing so. That's always appreciated. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. And if you don't want to pick it up over at JCristina.com, pick up my products over at B&H Photo and Video, at Amazon, Amazon Prime, the hundreds and hundreds of mom and pop stores worldwide. There's still hundreds. There's still some out there. Anyways, they're carrying the JCristina photography tools also. Anyways, that's it, guys. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe and stay healthy.